Hello, Jackson. How are you?
I'm doing all right, Nick. Thanks for.
Jackson Wiseman.
Yes, sir.
What's your middle name?
My middle name is Anthony. Yep.
Anthony. J Dub. Jubba. Jubba. Jackson Wiseman. Here.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
How's your day been, Jackson?
My day's going pretty good. Actually, just got back from vacation.
Oh.
Was down in Tampa last week, right after Christmas. And I missed the warm weather. That's for sure.
The
So,
warm weather.
yeah.
Yeah, we are. It's like I don't know. We live in Southern Illinois. It's like you never know how it's gonna be there. It's like one day, one day at 7 a.m. it'll be a blizzard. By 3 p.m. it'll be sunny. So it's like
Yeah, dude. I mean,
you
I'm
never
telling you,
know.
Illinois probably has one of the most bipolar weather systems.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's
I,
crazy.
I know right now I'm running into snow, but it's just raining.
Right, right.
And then probably as soon as it stops raining, it's gonna be like -2 degrees. So it's
100%.
like,
100%.
what are we gonna do? So how did you? So like you work at Marion Stadium, Thrillbillies. What do you do there?
So right now, I am the assistant general manager. So I handled all the operations over there. Handling employees. I kind of do tasks like the hiring manager, making sure that we're ready to go for the season whenever that comes up. Also deal with promotions, the entertainment aspect. So dealing with our cheerleaders, our mascots, the promotional game, working with partners and stuff. And then I also have a little bit of input on production and make sure our broadcast is good and everything that you hear from the sounds of the ballpark through the PA system and your PA
Yeah.
announcer, video board, stuff like that. So a little bit of everything. You kind of wear a lot of hats when you're in this industry.
Yeah, it sounds like it. So like you said, you do pretty much almost everything in some format or some way, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I try to help out as much as possible, but we also have a great team over there, with a lot of great people, and
Yeah.
they all help out too, and it's honestly it's really a team.
Yeah. So how did you get to where you are, kind of thing? Like,
Yeah, yeah. So, oh man, take a trip down memory lane here. So I believe it was my sophomore year of high school.
how long ago was that?
Let's see, that was 2013, 2014, something like
Dadgum, I
that.
was in
Yeah.
third grade.
Oh man, that's crazy. You're making me feel old.
It's kind of what I like to do here.
Right, you're right. So I was actually on a trip, doing something kind of like what we're doing right now. I was on a trip in St. Louis. We were doing a radio interview
Hmm.
for my school, high school I was going to.
What was the interview for?
It was just kind of hyping up our school. It
Oh,
was a Catholic radio station. I went to the Catholic school from K
that
through
that
12.
explains
Right,
so much.
right. But yeah, it was a radio interview like this, and they invited us up to St. Louis for that interview. And one of the people that I went up for that interview with, they were actually applying for the Southern Illinois Miners, which is a team before the Thrillbillies. Just game day slot. So I think they were doing concessions and whatnot, and they said, "Hey, you should try this out." At the time, I was only 15. I wasn't sure if that was going to work or not.
Yeah.
But you got workers permits and all that good stuff. But anyway, I filled out the application, and when I filled out the application, I think I put Bat Boy as my top interest. Usher was up there too.
So you kind of wanted to be
Concessions.
like you wanted to be like people see you kind of thing, be engaged with people.
Not really. Quite the opposite, actually. I love the sport of baseball. That's why I wanted to do a bat boy. Just be closer to the team, the players, everything like that. Learn more about that stuff. And then I put concessions, ushers. They kind of had you list out in order the things that you're interested in doing.
Yeah.
And I think fifth on the list was mascot. So I went to the job fair interview they had up at the stadium, and did the whole interview. And then at the end of the interview, the guy said, "You know what? Our mascot tryout is on this date, and I want to see you there." Ended up going to the tryout. Tryout was really good. And then a couple weeks later, I got a call asking to see if I would be interested in being the mascot for the Southern Illinois Miners. And that's kind of how it all began with me working in the sports industry.
Yeah.
And through the years of mascotting, that's and bringing that enjoyment to people's faces and seeing there's something special, and you're in the play business, the entertainment business. You say a funny line and you hear the crowd laugh. That's a great feeling.
It's one of the best feelings you can get, kind of thing.
Right, and just doing that and being that entertainer, and you doing a silly pratfall or dancing or whatever it may be, or stealing somebody's
or like
hat.
a bit that's scripted or something like that. It's still
and hearing the crowd laughter, or you see you put a smile on a kid's face. I fell in love with that aspect, and back in high school I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, past school and where to go to college and what to study and all that, but really mascotting for the Miners really kind of segue my love of the entertainment business, but also being tied in with sports, which I've always had love for as well. And then eventually that turned into a couple internships with the Miners. I was I think 2018. I had my first internship with them. It was the social media internship, so I was making graphics and helping them run Facebook.
And were you like still mascot while you were doing that?
Yeah,
or?
I was.
Okay.
Yep. I was that season. It was a little hard to juggle, both because I like to do in live in game posts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I was really trying to do as much as I could, prior to the games or on off days, social media wise.
Yeah.
And then during the game, I kind of threw that in my back pocket and became, the mascot again. And the character. So, but and then that eventually blossomed into, being an intern for promotions and entertainment in 2021 after COVID, after the dark year of COVID, and
the dark years.
Yeah, the dark years, and halfway through that last season of the Miners 2021, my boss, who was amazing mentor, he taught me a bunch.
Yeah.
And
I think it's always good to get like that one person who just, especially if they're in like the same like business or same place you work at. It's amazing because you're always around them too.
Yeah, 100%. And actually, my boss that last year, he was in a similar role that I was just then taking on. He was an intern for the Miners back when, and that last year of the Miners, and he got a job offer to go into the family business, and he pulled me aside and asked if this was something I'd be interested in, and I said yeah, and just a lot of hard work, and eventually went from the internship with the Miners to the front office, and then also we got the bad news of the Miners ceasing operations. They had a really good run, but all good things got to
must come at some point.
Yep. And for a little bit, I was just kind of lost. I didn't know what my next step was in my journey. So again, this was fall 2021. I actually just bought or just rented out a house. My family did, and once I got the news that I didn't have a job anymore, that was kind of rough because I got a house and then just lost my job after that. But that was some good time off. I got to do some renovations on the house, and then one day in I think late November or early December 21, I got a call from Black Diamond. They needed some help. They just purchased the stadium then, and they needed some help. Doing some video board stuff over there, which I had obviously some background in, and that eventually led me to where I am today, being the assistant GM with the Thrillbillies.
Oh, sick!
Yeah.
So what was that feeling like whenever they like officially asked you? How would you want to be like? What's your title there? Like official title at Thrillbillies?
I'm assistant GM right now. I again, work in this industry, you wear a lot of hats. I'm also called the director of production when I'm working on AV stuff. Yeah. But I'm also, director of entertainment when I'm out during the games, doing the between
Yeah.
inning stuff. But um,
Cause like during games, you're always out and about on the
yeah.
actual stadium,
Hmm.
making sure everything's running and according to plan, nothing goes off plan, and stuff like
Correct.
that, right?
Yeah, correct. Just make sure that the show runs smoothly. Baseball is um, minor league baseball is very important that you put on a good show. People will drive the 2 hours to go to St. Louis and watch this, top tier talent.
Yeah.
Same with the Blues and the hockey
So
and
any big name
yeah,
sports or name teams,
yeah, they're gonna go there to go see Yadier Molina,
yeah,
or if it's it's just the Lakers, they're gonna go there. They're gonna see
yeah,
LeBron. Everybody knows who LeBron is,
yeah.
right?
Take a day off to go do these things,
Ex-
kind of thing.
exactly. But in minor league baseball, these kids are just starting to make a name for themselves. They're up and comers, um, but most of the time people aren't gonna go there just to see the talent on the field, and it's really great talent. I really enjoy watching the minor leagues, and everybody has to take those stepping stones to get
Yeah,
to the big leagues. But it's really important that we put on a show for the fans that come in here. There's actually a statistic that 20% of the people that come to ball games, they're your die-hard, baseball
that
fans.
they're putting bets on it, or they're like,
I wouldn't say I
okay,
wouldn't go that far. I
no,
wouldn't go
you
that
wouldn't
far
go
on
that far.
Thrillville. Maybe they are. I don't
Oh,
know.
maybe not Thrillbillies, but I'm
Right.
like Major League.
Yeah. But about 20% of the fans that come through the gates for a minor league team, they're the diehard that they care about what every single pitch and what the final
Yeah,
score is going to be.
they care
And
about the
they're
stats and
looking,
how
yeah,
gameplay is.
yeah, and they want their team to make the playoffs and win the championship and everything
Yeah,
like that. The other 80% of the fans that come through the gate, they're there just to have a good time. They're there for the entertainment aspect. So they're bringing their families, their friends. Maybe they're bringing their college friends for a night out on Thursday
yeah.
to go drink, or family fun Sunday.
Thirsty Thursday. That's such a fun term.
right, yeah. But they're being coming to the stadium to be entertained, and it's very important. And it's a lot of work and a lot of time put in it to make sure it's a good show. Because again, it's not we're not the St. Louis Cardinals,
No.
and we got to figure out a way to make the entire experience of the
Yeah.
ballpark.
Well, I think it's safe to say, like, Thrillville Thrillbillies Marion Stadium is no. I think it's safe to say that they got the entertainment part down. I think it's safe to say. I think maybe there was like one or two. Correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe there was like one or two or a few nights where there wasn't really anything happening. But pretty much every single game was either a theme
Yeah.
or there was a new activity or something like that.
Yeah, 100%. One thing that if I could go back and change it with the minors during my time, but again, I was just, starting out, I was just learning the ins and outs of the sports business. But there was a time during the minors where the show just got stale. You would go there on any given night in 2012, 2013. And if you go, it would be the same show on a Tuesday, and then you go again 2 days later, and it's the same exact show.
Yeah.
It might be a different theme night, but the product that's on the field with the promotional games. I remember receiving scripts and everything as when I first started there, and almost every single game was pretty much laid out the same way.
Yeah.
And well, you working with the Thrillbillies this past year, you saw
Oh.
almost that you had your best seat in the house and your 7th inning stretch, like the
Like that
stuff you won.
every game thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah, but the all the other aspects.
it's
to
always
a game,
it's always
different.
changing.
Yeah, and you just gotta make sure that you have that that fresh script out there and a new show. There's a saying that I picked up from the miners is every every game is somebody's first game.
Yeah, you've said that a few times this
Yeah,
past season.
yeah, 100%.
I mean, that's what I kind of like. At least for me, that's what I love about like doing theater shows. That's why I'm majoring in musical theater. I just love how, I mean, you can rehearse the same show 500 times, professionally perform it 8 times, 6 times a week, whatnot. But every single performance is different because what you may find funny, some audience members might not, or some things you didn't think would be funny. Some audience members are on the floor laughing out loud because
Right.
it's hilarious.
Right.
It's different things that's like a different. There's so many people, like you said, it's always someone's first time, so it's like
Yeah, and there's, and that's a great point that you bring up. We try to make everybody happy at all times, but in a realistic world, realistically thinking, that's not going to happen.
No.
You got so many different demographics of people out there that it's definitely hard to do that. So the more different sort of things that we throw out there, you statistically, somebody's gonna end up liking something that you do. So.
That's one thing I just love about, even if it's all like a sports or a music or anything, entertainment I love, because you have, no matter what, everyone wants to be entertained, whether it's not full on right in your face or on a screen or whatnot. Everyone just loves entertainment, and that's the fun part. Is you just have to. It's a fun part, and also the hard part is trying to get everyone to enjoy it. But at the end of the day, most of the time that happens, and it's just an amazing experience whenever everyone is just in a good mood, especially at Marion Stadium, which it hold with like what, like thousands of people at a time or hundreds of people at a time, just seeing everyone, even on the field or off the field. It's just boom, it's there, and it's amazing, and it's great.
Right. Yeah. No. 100%. Just putting out that great show and product. That's what we try to do.
Yeah.
And going back to what I said earlier, just if you see those people smiling at something that you almost created, it's just a great feeling.
Yeah. So, what was your favorite? Because, like I said, Thrillbillies, this inaugural season, if you will, which you will, it was the first season. Yeah. What was your favorite, probably, theme night or favorite experience of the whole summer?
Oh,
I know there were
man.
so many.
That is a really tough question.
Or just like list a few that you really did enjoy.
Yeah. So, one for sure, and it's something that we've never done before with the minors and. Or really anybody was the Tidy Bowl. Yes, we got Banana Bowl, in Savannah. But the Tidy Bowl versus Banana Bowl, it was two totally different things.
I mean,
our rules changed every single inning.
Inning.
And at some points, it almost even felt like it was baseball. Which some people, the traditionalists might not like that so much. But again, for that 80% of people who are there to have a good time, most of them loved it.
And at some point, you got to pick: are you going to entertain the majority or focus on just the small amount of people, kind of thing?
100%. And really, like I said before, you really try to make everybody happy.
Yeah.
But to make everybody happy 100% of the time, it's just not realistic.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously want to make sure tickets are selling good. You want to make sure people are showing up. But at the end of the day, it's really just if I feel like at the end of the day, if at least one person is just in awe or having an amazing time, I feel like no matter how much ticket sales are, it's still worth it. I feel like
for sure.
Because that kind of leads into what you said of like every game is someone's first game.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, the Toddy Bowl was one of my favorites just for that reason. It was just so different. And we're planning on having, bringing that back again next year. And we're going to have the Tidy Whities as rally tiles again.
And, I managed to steal one of those.
Yes. Yeah. So, that was a great night, super fun night. Another one that really, stuck out at me that I'm just super proud of the entire team is the night that we honor Ashton, our player that passed away during the middle of the season. Never in my life would I have thought that I would have to go through a situation like that. It's that one was particularly hard, because it's you're trying to keep that fun atmosphere, but you also want to do the
To
right
not make a
thing.
mockery of it.
Yeah, no, and you want to do the right thing, and you want to honor your player that
Yeah,
put his blood, sweat, and tears,
exactly.
and everything that he did out there on the field and for his teammates and everything. And we spray painted 24s all over the field, and had a really nice pregame ceremony. We painted special bases that had his initials on it, and really for that one night, people.
It was more than just a
It
game.
was more than just a game, and everybody just came together as one, and it was really a great feeling. So that was really one of my favorite nights. Again, it's one of my favorite nights because it's
Because of the aspect of
yes,
everyone.
yeah,
That's one thing that, like, I mean, obviously, like, if like a natural disaster or if a big
right,
event happens, it obviously sucks and we wish it didn't happen.
right,
But the aftermath, if it's done right, it's just everyone from any background, any ethnicity, any
100%.
sexuality preference, everyone just comes together for the greater good. And that is really, I mean, I remember I was at rehearsal at SIU McCloskey Place for Footloose the musical,
Mm-hmm.
and another one of the Thrillettes, Kennedy Compton. She said, "Hey, did you look at your phone?" I said, "No, why?" She said, "Just look." And I said, "Okay." I looked on there. Then I remember in our group chat we have the press box with a lot of
Yep.
people that work behind the scenes stuff. One of them I remember who has texted the group chat about Ashton,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Oh shit,
Yeah.
that happened."
Yeah.
And then I remember obviously the game was canceled that night because to respect that. And then it was like, because yeah, it is a minor league team, prospect league,
Mm-hmm.
but it still is a team. It's still, and it's seeing the basically like the whole league kind of pretty much stopped.
Yeah.
And like every team sent condolences.
Oh,
Everyone. It was amazing.
100%. And even going back, like we were talking about his night, which happened, a week and a half, I think, after he passed away. But the day that we all found out, I think it was Thrilloween was the
It
the
was
theme night.
thrilling.
Yep, and we were scrambling because there were a lot of activities you can do with Halloween theme,
Yeah.
and we were scrambling to get everything done, and I actually went to Walmart to get some props for the night. And when I got back, I felt the energy vibe,
Yeah.
and I was like, guys, what's wrong? And then they broke the news. But originally we were actually going to try to play that game
Yeah.
on that day. All the teammate, all the team gathered together, and they actually discussed amongst each other, and they took a vote, and they voted to actually play that
Yeah.
game initially.
Well, I feel like that's what obviously I wasn't as close to Ashton, but I feel like he would have. I mean, because working with them almost every game, you get to meet the players up close and
Right.
personal, and it just seemed he was an amazing person. And I feel like he would have wanted it not the world to stop. I feel like he would have wanted them to keep playing and whatnot.
Exactly, and that's exactly the reason why they voted to
Yeah.
play that game. But it was actually the other team that came in. I can't remember exactly who it was. I think it might have been the Jackson Rockabillies. I'm really not sure.
Yeah.
But they came in, and a lot of players on that team knew Ashton from the year before. They were teammates in the prospect league with Ashton the year before, and basically they came to ultimate decision to both teams to hold off on that game, but that even that day, both teams who are usually opposing,
Came
and
together.
hate each other guts,
Yeah.
you're playing a game out there, and,
Yeah.
and you're trying to win. And especially during that time, it's towards the end of the season. People were in playoff races, and
Yeah.
but that day, everybody. I remember looking at. I was up in the press box at the time, and both teams, formed an entire prayer circle. They all had their
Yeah.
arms around each other. They were saying prayers. They laid his jersey on the catcher spot by home plate.
Yeah.
I think some people, brought flowers and maybe some of his equipment there.
Yeah.
And visited it, and it was really a sad, rough day. A day I hope I never experience again.
No.
In the industry.
Because I know. I mean, any team, can be right. You can be opposites, and enemies, if you will, or not.
Right.
But every team has their rivals and whatnot. I know for my hometown was Frankfurt Redbirds, and then Benton Rangers.
Yep.
A few months ago, there was an incident with a few people, and there was a car crash,
Yep.
and it had people from both teams, from both towns. And when it happened, it literally everything stopped all across Southern Illinois. No matter where, if you're in school, if you're working at McDonald's, for example, or something like that, everyone just stopped, and both teams came together, and it was really, it sucked. It was horrible what happened, but it was amazing to see what one thing can change an entire community, and seeing dozens of schools dedicate a day to wear maroon or red. Or Marion, for example, their helmets, they made custom stickers with both teams on them. It's just amazing to see what the tiniest things can make an impact on.
No, 100%, and that all goes back to, it's a great feeling when communities and teams or rivals, whatever, when they all just come together.
Yeah.
And going back to the question that you asked, that's why that became one of my favorite nights. Everybody became together as one.
Yeah.
So.
And it really is it's just amazing. Even if it's not through that, just any theme night or any game, maybe for example, we had a Netflix night, which was just a lot of Stranger Things or Squid and whatnot.
Yep.
Maybe it's not. Maybe some people really don't care for that stuff, but the small people, or it's the people that do, they're loving every single
100%.
thing you're doing. Or I remember for Banana Ball.
Yep.
Was that what we called it? Banana Ball?
No. So Banana Ball is totally different. That's Savannah Bananas. We ended up calling it the Tidy Bowl.
Okay.
We call it the Battle of the Billies or Billy Ball for short.
Oh, Billy Ball, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. We thought that was too close to Banana Ball, but
because I remember we had one game where towards the first half of the season we went to Jacksonville and we did that game there.
Yeah.
And then we did another game here at our home place.
Yep.
And I'm not trying to say Jacksonville's not as good, but I feel like our Billy Ball was pretty better. Just put it out there.
I agree.
But it really is amazing, how much how much effort goes behind the scenes, but it's worth it to see the reaction. I mean, I remember operating the foam machine on the back of that car, and then can I say it? Can I say what I do at Thrillbillies? Am I allowed to?
Go ahead.
Okay, so whenever the mascot tryouts happen, I'm one of them. I was one of the original two for Thrillbillies. And then the other one, his name was Parker Robbins. He was a mascot for the Miners, along with you and a few others.
Yep.
And he got a better job opportunity, so he kind of left them. He kind of left Thrillbillies to go do a great opportunity, which was great for him. It was sad having him go, but it was still great for him to do. Mm-hmm. And I was one of the originals, and for Ryder. And I was supposed to be hired on to be the other deer, deer mascot, which will be
debuting, hopefully.
Fingers crossed. But is there a name yet? Have we found a name?
We do not have a name. We think we might actually reach out to the public like we did with the team name and we did with Ryder.
Yeah.
And reach out to the public for their help on
I'm
naming
still voting for Dave. I think Dave's a good name. I'm gonna on the podcast from now on, whenever you guys announce voting, everyone, Dave, vote for Dave the Deer. Dave the Deer, that's an amazing. Dave the Deer, that rhymes. It's great. Anyway, back to my story.
I don't think that's thrilling enough.
It's thrilling enough. Okay, whatever. It's a deer. Okay. But anyway, I remember during Billy Ball, the Tidy Whitey Bowl, there's a little foam gun thing we had that just blasted people with foam, bubbles, and seeing all these kids just run around chasing it, running around the park to get more of it. It was just amazing.
It was awesome.
Or going up to the Rockabilly's, just laying it down, bulldozing a one player for about 30 seconds of just nonstop
Sure,
with
he deserved
foam.
it. I'm
It
sure he
was
deserved
amazing.
it.
And then like even not in the suit, like out of the suit, it's just a great and amazing atmosphere because it's just so much fun.
It is. It
It
is.
really
And
is.
I was pretty shy when I took the job with the Miners as a
Yeah.
mascot, and um, you know, it all your feelings of shyness and kind of being like kind of standoffish go away. You know why? Because nobody
No,
knows
yeah.
that you're in
That
there,
because like
and that's you.
Because
You
like
know?
I was before I heard about the audition for that for the Thrillbillies, I was mascot at my hometown West Frankfort Redbirds. I was Frankie the Redbird. Go Birds! Rah! Anyway, and I remember seeing that and I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know they were opening up a team. Wow.
Right.
And so I was like, sure, why not? I went there. Park was closed. No one was there. I'm like,
Oh no.
okay, what's happening? And then I remember calling someone. They said, yeah, we postponed it. We moved it around. I said, okay. I showed up. You and then Peter.
Yep.
Peter, you two were there. Peter Fox. And I was like, okay, cool. What's going on? And then you guys, I told you about myself. Told you how I had a background in theater.
Yep.
I was going to SIU next year. Stuff. And you guys were like, okay, sick. And then I remember I hated it whenever you guys made me dance without a suit.
I know, we're still waiting on the suit to come in. I know.
And I
know.
remember it was so awkward because I was out there just making a fool of myself. Because like that's what I love about being a mascot is you can do what you want and no one knows who you are.
Exactly.
So you can just you can shake it, you can bake
Yep.
it, you can everything you want.
Exactly.
And they see Ryder doing it. They don't see you doing it. Or they see Frankie doing it. They don't see Nick Steinberger doing it.
Right.
And it really is, honestly, it is amazing to just, you can just do what you want and you make people, and pretty much no matter what you do, they're gonna love it.
Oh, 100%.
Because it's a giant rabbit having fun,
100%.
driving a 4-wheeler, tackling down a streaker,
Yep.
drunk streaker.
Yep.
It really is just amazing. Even because I started out with first half of the season I wasn't Ryder pretty much at all because it was Parker. But then whenever he left, I started transitioning into it, and then even just helping him walking around, it's still. I mean, I get paid to watch baseball.
Right.
It's amazing. Or being a mascot anywhere, I get paid to watch a sport with the best view than anyone will have.
Yep.
And it's just a great time.
100%, 100%, and it all goes back to those interactions with the fans
Yeah.
that make it all worth it. It's hard. It's
Yeah.
hard with the heat in
Oh.
the summertime.
Oh.
That turf can get up to 120, 130, which means it's getting up to upper 130s in the years sometimes.
I mean, I remember my first time the team actually seeing me, our team.
Yeah.
I think it was actually at Jacksonville
Yeah.
because I remember you called me at like 10 a.m., woke me up, and was like, "Hey Nick, how you doing?" I said, "Good," and you were like, "How you want to get on a helicopter in like 4 hours and go 3-hour flight?" I'm like, let me ask my mom.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, "Are you getting kidnapped?" I remember word for word, she said, "Nick, you're about to get kidnapped." And I said, "Nah, it's fine." And I remember,
Awesome.
next thing I know, I'm in the air flying
Yep.
down to Jacksonville.
Yep.
And I remember taking my helmet off in this gross bathroom, Jacksonville. Clean your player bathrooms, okay? This is call out to you. Clean your player bathrooms. That thing stunk. Anyway, back to my thing. I
Hey,
remember
baseball guys are smelly sometimes.
baseball guys are smelly. And it was just, they saw me and they were like, "Oh, so you're it." And I was like, "Yep." "You guys any water?" "Yeah, we got you." And I remember begging for water because it gets hot.
100%.
You don't stay hydrated, you're
Right.
on the ground. Next thing you know, riders fainted on the ground and
Yep.
no one knows what's happening.
Yep.
But I think it all, really with any business actually, it just comes down to the consumer, the customers,
Right.
whatnot. I mean, you can have like take Disney for example, great business, great company, but without any fans or any buyers, you're nothing. Or
Exactly.
any baseball or sports team without fans, you're performing for no one. Or musicals without audience members, you're performing for no one. What's
Right.
the point?
Right.
And I mean, yeah, that's how you get your money back also, but it's still, I mean, there's no energy, there's nothing to work for, no one you're trying to prove to kind of thing. So it's like,
100%. Yep.
but So how did you like? So where'd you like grow up? Like, are you from Southern
Yeah,
Illinois?
yeah. Born and raised. I was born here, really just down the road in the hospital here in Carbondale, and that's where life began. And
Life
I've been
began.
raised in Heron my entire life.
Okay, so you're a tiger.
I am not a tiger though. I'm
You're
not a
not?
tiger. Nope, nope. I went to OLMC from
Oh,
kindergarten
so
through
you're
eighth
so
grade.
you're what are they the orphans?
No, the Crusaders.
The
You're
Crusader.
thinking of Centralia
I'm thinking of
Orphans.
Centralia. Sorry, sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good.
The
The
Crusaders.
Crusaders.
Ooh.
Yep, yep. K through 8, and then I went to the Catholic high school.
Yeah.
I said earlier, and I was in Cape Girardeau.
Do Catholic high schools have mascots?
This one did, yes.
What was your guys'
We
mascot?
were Bulldogs.
Bulldogs.
Pretty bland and generic, if you ask me. But it is what it is. I didn't have any choice on that. So.
So you kind of just like hopped around kind of a little bit. Yes and no kind of thing.
For the mascot.
No,
Or-
for like just like for schools. Kind
Oh,
of
for
thing.
school. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, no.
Like a little bit, but not really.
Yeah, no. So like I said, I was in Heron at OLMC from kindergarten through 8, and then I was gonna go to the Heron be a Tiger, but I saw this opportunity where I could continue my Catholic education, and I went to go tour the school over there in Cape Girardeau, and right when I walked in, fell in love with it.
Yeah.
And I thought that would be a great segue into transitioning, working up into a good college
Yeah.
and everything. So,
Now you're here living the life
yeah,
on
now
a
here
baseball
living
field,
life. Yep, heck yeah.
providing entertainment.
Yep.
That's kind of what like I think any performer, entertainment in any way for it is. Yeah, even if you don't, I don't know how much you make or whatnot. I'm not gonna ask that unless you want to say it.
No,
But I mean, it doesn't really. At the end of the day, I don't think it matters how much you make. If you make a lot, great. If you don't, I think at the end of the day, great still because you're still doing what you love. You're
Exactly.
still providing entertainment, making people happy.
Yeah, 100%. And I was actually just kind of looking through. I log all my hours. Always have, always will, no matter what the job is, what the place is. And I always just kind of like to see what my year in review
Yeah.
look like. And and you're talking about the pay side of things, and but working in sports, it's a lot of long, grueling days and long
Yeah.
hours. And I actually figured up in a 7-month span. 7-ish month span. I worked something like 2,225 hours, something like that. And then I calculated it up, the average 40-hour work week for 52, the full 52 weeks
Yeah.
week cycle in a year. And in that 7-month span, just in that 7 months, I worked 150 hours more than the average person would on a 40-hour work week.
Dad
Yeah.
gum.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Dad gum.
And then off season, you get the more normal like 40, 45-ish, hours.
I mean, it's still a
week.
lot of hours, but it's a lot less compared to when you're in season.
Right.
I
yeah,
think
for
that's
sure.
kind of. I think that's kind of like if we're on the topic of entertainment. I feel like that's kind of the same, especially for like musical or performing.
Yeah.
You'll rehearse for a few months, a month, 2 months, 3 months for a week worth of performing, or like 3 days worth of performing.
Yep.
You have hundreds and thousands of hours, but it's, I mean, for only like maybe like 20 hours of performing.
100%.
But it's still worth it. 'Cause it's still
You're
the
doing
impact.
something you love.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think that's kinda what it is.
100%.
Oh, I'm tired.
You're
It
tired?
has been a day.
It's only Tuesday, man. You gotta wake
I
up.
know,
It's like
but
hump
I mean,
day.
I go back to I start school back in a few
Okay.
days and whatnot. So when does Thrillbillies like? When do you from the behind the scenes side really start back up? Really start
Oh.
going at it?
As soon as the season ended, we pretty much got at it. I mean, we had a couple weeks where we kind of said, "All right, let's talk anything other than baseball."
Yeah.
But I would say about a month after the last game of the season, you really start to dive in on next season. You got to figure out how many bobbleheads you're gonna get, and you got to get partners for each of those. Yeah, there you go. There's
Oh, Ralphie.
mayor of Thrillville right there. Those bobbleheads take almost 18, 20 weeks to go
Yeah.
through molding
because they have to design it, mold it, all this stuff.
Yep,
Yeah.
and then a lot of them are hand hand painted like certain parts of it.
Oh.
Those definitely take time, and you got before you even order it and proof the molds. You
gotta design it. You gotta
you gotta design it. You gotta figure out what days you're gonna need these bobbleheads, and as well as what partners you're gonna have with the bobbleheads. So stuff like that takes a lot of time. So like I said, right after the last game of the season, we're pretty much thinking next
going
year,
right back on it.
what's going on, and
I feel like that's one thing a lot of people don't realize about entertainment again in general. It's like nonstop. Like
no, and I think one of the most common things that I get asked, towards the end of a season or the season just ended, so what are you going to be doing now that the season's over? What are you going to be doing during the off season? I was like, preparing for next year. It's a lot of work because you got to put together all the theme nights and big entertainment acts such as concerts and comedians like Jeff Dunham and all that can't just be thrown together last minute.
No.
In most cases, unless you get lucky, but most cases you can't throw all that stuff together.
Kind of like for like at least SIU or not. I mean, it'll be tech week for one show. The next show won't perform for another 3 months, and they'll already be doing costume designs or drawing up costumes or picking out fabric.
Yeah.
So or like halfway through the first show, they'll already be building set for the next show, and it's just like nonstop go, and make sure everything's timed right, kind of thing.
100%. Like you said, I mean, you're in a similar industry, really. Would say both of these industries are entertainment industries, even though I'm in more of the sports aspect.
It's still entertainment, yeah.
And there's just so much that goes. You don't go to a magic show or a concert or whatever it may be. Like, say you went to go see Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Before the Eras tour, the big tour that she just had, that she did that concert plenty of times before that first show. Costume changes and choreographing dances and the set list and obviously it changes from city to city and everything,
but it's still pretty much the same thing.
100%. And all the production that goes into stuff like that, with Taylor Swift, all the screens that she had. We're not Taylor Swift over in Marion, but but
we are Thrillville Thrillbillies.
Yes, we are Thrillville. All the stuff that goes into it and making those making graphics. If you're into the graphic design or motion graphics, that stuff takes a lot of time. For a 30-second motion graphic could take 3 hours to make. And we have a bunch of.
Or like I saw a documentary over like How to Train Your Dragon, those movies. One guy, I forgot I ran off topic, but I forgot this guy. He's one of the animators, and he spent 3 40-hour weeks editing this one dragon's eye movement. He spent 3 weeks on it, and then when he sent it to effects, they just covered up with water. So it's you can do so much for the tiny a 0.3 second frame, and it just goes away.
Exactly.
But it's still, you still do the work for this greater thing.
You have to. I mean, the movies that you see out there with all the special effects, I guarantee, you see these trailers or you hear the announcement, but then, they say, oh, it's not coming until summer of 2027. It takes that much time to record and to do the special effects and everything. And same goes with baseball. It's just, all the time and preparation that it takes to get ready for that opening night, because once opening night hits,
it's there. Season started.
You're there. Season started, and you lose all that time to do all that work. So you should
backlog it while you can.
Yeah, pretty much make sure that you're ready to go.
I remember, I'm just gonna list random movies at this point, like Greatest Showman, the Greatest Showman with Hugh Jackman and whatnot. Zac Efron, Zendaya. Because I just loved that movie when it came out. I watched a documentary over it. The director of that, he first talked to Hugh Jackman 11 years before that movie came out.
That's insane.
And it's crazy, and obviously, you can talk about something and then not actually start working on it for a while. I mean, with this podcast, I had the idea about 5 months ago. I didn't start recording until yesterday.
Right.
But it's still, I mean, for The Greatest Showman, as soon as he got the approval for it, which was like 10 years before, he worked on it nonstop. He didn't actually like start going all the way until later, but he was going nonstop for 100%. It, and it's just crazy. Yeah. The backhand. Yep. Well, I think that covers a lot of it. I'm sure we'll have you on again at some point, but thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Shout out to the Thrillville Thrillbillies. Next season coming to you. TT. Roll Billies. I forgot how do we do it? Roll Billies.
Roll Billies.
Roll Billies. All right. See you guys later. Thank you.